today we got a special request from our own Reddit user. Today I'm giving you guys the homicide report leaked paperwork for 051 Fathead. I have two documents. Each document is over 100 pages long. I will do my best to break this in parts that are consumable for everybody. There will be a lot of parts that are, I would say, not redundant but repetitive because some of the paperwork is, of course, duplicated. Nonetheless, we have two parts to this reading here. So, starting with the first part here, scrolling down, we have our investigative file inventory and just really the inventory for the report. Let me expand this out some here so we can make it nice and large. All right. Request for crime scene evidence photos. They're going through the photos, the requests, homicide case folder for Antonio Davis. Antonio Davis is aka Fathead at this time. The parental guardian for him is redacted. I believe at the time of Fathead's death, Antonio Davis, and rest in peace to him as well. At the time of his death, he, as you can see here, he was 14 years old, which is why they have redacted his parents' information. And there was a witness here, so just for but there was a witness there. The injury info for 051 Fathead was a firearm gunshot wound, and the injury extent was fatal. They know that there were, at this point in time, that there is one suspect or two suspects here, and they have somewhat of an age range from 20 to 25 years old for suspect 1 and 20 to 25 years old for suspect 2. Alright, now we'll go over the event as the police CPD has it listed. This is the incident report. Event number 18617 beat 763A went over the air and stated they heard a couple loud reports near Halstead and 69th Street. Moments later, beat 763A went over the air and requested an ambulance for a male black who was laying in the street at 720 West 70th Street with several gunshot wounds. CFD ambulance number 14 responded and stated the victim was unresponsive at 20:42 hours. Beat 725 was in contact with redacted witness. So the two witnesses as above with the victim when the incident occurred. Area South Detective Sergeant Shemash number 1535 notified at 21:10 hours. Operations Command Thomas number 14773 notified at 21:20 hours. BT 789, BT 720, BT 710 on the scene. Let's keep going here. Was notified at 25. So these are all the officers that are being notified, and the ambulance once they see the victim. Now we have a witness stating that she left her house, redaction with redaction. Antonio Davis, the victim, and they were heading to the corner store at 69th Street in Emerald. She stated as they were walking westbound on 70th Street, she saw a newer model light gray van. Both the driver and passenger were staring at them. The van then proceeded northbound on Union toward 69th Street. Redacted witness then stated as they continued to walk westbound on 70th Street, male black with a hooded sweatshirt, whom redacted recognized as the passenger to the gray van, shot Antonio Davis once from behind. Redaction stated she as ran, and as she looked back, she saw Antonio Davis, the victim, was on the ground, and the shooter stood over his body and shot him several more times. Beat 5215 responded. Beat 5802 Crime Lab responded. And that is the narrative that they have for on the scene when the officers arrived from witnesses. And as you can see, these are the officers that were there at that time. And they are doing a crime scene report here. Not much of a narrative there. In the event, in summary, responding officers were assigned to relieve beat 733, who was assigned the crime scene at above location. B733R revealed B733 at relieved B733 at 7000 South Emerald at around 2200 hours. All right, so they're relieving each other from the crime scene at that time. And now, interestingly enough, what we have here is the field investigative exceptional and cleared open report. And as we see now, we have some offenders listed here. Courtney Ely, a male, black, 17 years old, born in 94. And he has an organization which he belongs to, which is labeled as the Black Gangster Disciples, which would be the BDs. Gang information, he is a BD. And we also have another suspect, Marvin Riley, 20-year-old black male, in custody, and a Walter Smith, who also they know has a gang affiliation, and he belongs to the Black Disciples. William Conwell, also 22-year-old black male, also a suspect in this case for the murder of Antonio Davis. Excuse me. All right, Antonio Davis, he was transported. Of course, they're telling you there. They have a weapon, which is a Smith & Wesson Bodyguard Chief Special 40 semi-automatic pistol. The vehicle that they have at this time is a 96 Dodge Caravan, and they are labeling this as the offender's vehicle. Color top bottom is white, and the owner is Marvin Riley. The possessor and user at the time was a William Conwell, so I'm assuming that's who they arrested with the vehicle, since he is the possessor there. And the location it was found at was 6337 South Parnell. All right. And the medical examiner, they performed the autopsy. All right. And the weather and the lighting at the time was clear and in the 80s. At the time of the homicide, I'm sorry. Motive was undetermined. They have DNA, person shot, listing what evidence they have here. And I believe these are the witnesses. Sorry for speeding past that somewhat, but so they have a slew of witnesses to this crime that seems that was committed out of a white minivan, caravan. They have a 44-year-old witness. They have a 44-year-old male witness. They have a 42-year-old male black witness. They have a 38-year-old female black witness. They have a 22-year-old female black witness. They have a 16-year-old black male witness and an 18-year-old black male witness. I mean, with all these witnesses to a crime, it would be pretty difficult to not be arrested. I mean, it's pages of witnesses. As you can see here, of course, the names are redacted and things like that, but they give you a general information of who these people were by their age and demographic. So we have Antonio Davis listed as a victim, William Conwell as an offender, and so each one of these are being charged with Antonio Davis's murder at this time, and each has associated arrests. Now they list the investigation report, and it's listed as a homicide. The victim is Antonio Davis. He is a 14-year-old male at that time. Wow. And his birthday was in 97. His gang affiliation was the Young Money faction. So definitely out of the Young Money. In custody is William Conwell, aka Bobo here. Male, 22, born in 1990. And his gang affiliation is the BDs, the Lamron 300 faction at that. Now we have Courtney Ely, aka C-Day, male, 19, born in 94. And his gang affiliation is Black Disciples of the Lamron 600 faction. Next we have S. Dot, Walter Smith Jr., aka S. Dot or Dotarachi, male, 18, 95. Gang affiliation, Black Disciples. Marvin Riley, aka Boo Man, born in 93, male, 20. Gang affiliation, Black Disciples, Lamron 300 faction. Their weapon of choice was this Smith & Wesson. Date of occurrence is listed here. Weather and lighting at the time: dusk, good artificial light provided by the city of Chicago. Weather approximately in the high 70s and clear. The vehicle used, so we'll go back to that. Manner and motive is a handgun / gang related, is what they assume at this time. Vehicle used: a 1996 Dodge Caravan, Illinois temporary license plates and a VIN number, and registered to Marvin Wiley. Evidence: any inquiries into all of the evidence associated with this case should be referred to all other corresponding supplemental reports. Alright, this report should be read in conjunction with all other reports generated under this case number. Responding detectives were assigned to this homicide investigation by Sergeant Winstead, number 2097, in the Area South Detective Bureau of this command. Responding detectives relocated to 720 West 70th Street. Address of occurrence: responding detectives observed the area to be cordoned off with yellow Chicago police crime scene tape on both ends of West 70th Street at South Emerald Avenue and South Union Avenue. Responding detectives observed red Chicago police crime scene tape adorned further inside the crime scene. Inside the red tape, responding detectives observed a blue cover over the body of the victim, Antonio Davis. EMS was on the scene. The victim was pronounced at 20:50 hours on scene. Medical examiner M.E. Hines, number 69, was notified at 22:56 hours. There were no surveillance cameras evident to responding detectives. There were no CPD pods in the immediate vicinity. Crime lab arrived on the scene. So the crime lab detectives removed the aforementioned cover that was over the victim's body. The victim was observed laying on his right side with his head facing east and his feet pointed west. Responding detectives observed 6 .40 caliber cartridge casings scattered around Davis as well. 2 of the casings were located near the area of the victim's head. 3 other casings were essentially located around the lower half of the victim's body. One other casing was located on top of the north curb near the victim's head. Responding detectives also observed a fired bullet near the victim's head and another fired bullet and some blood that was near the victim's face. Furthermore, responding detectives observed another fired bullet that was near the crotch area of the victim. Responding detectives observed gunshot wounds to the lower back, left side, and upper right chest of the victim. All body shots. Responding detectives also observed gunshot wounds to the right side of the head, with an exit wound to the left rear of the head. Wow. Left hand, back, right wrist, right upper thigh. Wow. And he was 14, and we must be mindful of that. Responding detectives observed the victim to be wearing black Nike gym shoes, red trim, Air Max, black socks, brown khaki cargo pants, black and blue boxer underwear, and a black t-shirt. The victim had long braid dreadlocks as a hairstyle. The victim had orange condoms, Neosporin, and one Q-tip in his lower front pocket. He also had $5 USC, US currency, in his upper front left pocket and one brass key in his upper right front pocket. He had all the pockets counted for, that's for sure. BT 5802 processed the crime scene and collected the aforementioned items. Crime scene video exists for the case under CPD inventory number V66082. Responding detectives located P.O. Cano, number 16106 BT746, who related the following information in essence but not verbatim. P.O. Cano related that she and her partner, P.O. Vargas, were assigned to the case report of this homicide. P.O. Cano related that BT763A heard several gunshots and located the victim at 720 West 70th Street. P.O. Cano related that the preliminary investigation revealed that the victim was walking with redaction. P.O. Cano related that redaction said that they had just left redaction apartment located at redaction. P.O. Cano related that redaction said that a newer model light gray van drove by the victim, and redaction P.O. Cano related that redaction said that the occupants stared at them. P.O. Cano related that redaction said that they continued to walk westbound on West 70th Street. I guess as they were walking down, they saw that van and they kept pushing. You know, a suspicious van is approaching. P.O. Cano related that redaction said that a male black with a hooded sweatshirt shot Davis once from behind while she ran off. So they hopped out and shot him in the back as they were running off. P.O. Cano related that redaction said that she looked back and she saw the same male black fire several more shots into Davis as he was on the ground. Now she's making this statement, you know, these are two detectives. This witness who was with 051 Fathead at the time. Responding detectives located Sergeant Higgins, who related the following information in essence but not verbatim. Sergeant Higgins related that BT763A was near the area of 720 West 7th Street when this murder occurred. He related that tactical officers assigned to the unit heard several gunshots. Upon hearing the gunshots, BT763A located the victim Antonio Davis at 720 West 70th Street. He related that they found the victim unresponsive with what appeared to be several gunshot wounds. He related that BT725 was currently with redaction, who is also a witness to this murder. He related that the redaction. So the witness that was with him at the time is able to identify these people from what this casework is reading so far. I mean, we're only on, 22 page of 169 here. Excuse me. Too many backwards or something. All right. So Sergeant Higgins related that BT763A had located an older model white Dodge Caravan that was at 6337 South Parnell Avenue. He related that it matched the description of the offender's vehicle. He related that officers working at BT 763A were conducting field interviews with 4 individuals at 6336 South Parnell Avenue. He related that he instructed BT 725 to drive redaction by the Dodge Caravan. Sergeant Haynes related that redaction did not identify the Dodge Caravan as the same one that was used during the murder. Sergeant Haynes related that redaction told BT 725 that the Dodge Caravan was not the vehicle used during this murder. Redaction willingly came to Area South Detective Bureau with BT 725 for a further interview. Responding detectives Killeen and Sergeant Higgins relocated to 6337 South Parnell Avenue. Responding detectives observed the aforementioned white Dodge Caravan with an Illinois temporary tag affixed to it of redaction. It was parked at that location. The vehicle was registered to Marvin Riley of redaction. Responding detectives interviewed P.O. Pineta, number 3438, who related the following information in essence but not verbatim. P.O. Pienta, I don't know how to say that, related that he was assigned to BT 763A with his partners P.O. McElweak, number 5156, and P.O. Larson, number 6870. P.O. Pienta related that they were touring the area following the murder. P.O. Pienta related that they located the aforementioned Dodge Caravan parked at 6337 South Parnell. P.O. Pienta related that he observed the suspect, William Conwell, attempting to secrete an unknown object in the grass at 6336 South Parnell Avenue. P.O. Pienta related that he and his partners approached Conwell and 3 other persons for a field interview. P.O. Pienta related that P.O. McElwack went to the grass area and recovered a Dodge car key. P.O. Pienta related that Conwell told him that he tried to hide the key. P.O. Pienta related that it is the key to the Dodge Caravan in question. P.O. Pienta related that Conwell said that he drove the car to 6337 South Parnell Avenue from the 6400 block of South Eggleston Street. P.O. Pienta related that Conwell failed to produce a driver's license, and a computer inquiry revealed that Conwell's driver's license is expired. P.O. Pienta related that Conwell was arrested for the expired driver's license. Wow. It should be noted that the 3 other persons at 6336 South Parnell were redaction, 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 and redaction. Due to the fact that redaction did not identify the vehicle, P.O. McElwack searched the vehicle along with P.O. Bong Giovanni, number 19854, and Waterstrat. So these are the people, officers who searched the vehicle, subsequently drove the Dodge Caravan to the 007th district in order to have it towed. Which is actually interesting because I don't think police are technically supposed to drive the vehicle that's in question anywhere. From my knowledge. Responding detectives Killeen interviewed Conwell at 6336 South Parnell. Conwell related the following information in essence but not verbatim. Conwell was read his Miranda warnings at 21:55 hours on June 22nd, 2012. He waived his rights and agreed to speak with responding detectives. Conwell related that the Dodge Caravan belonged to his friend Marvin. He did not know any other pertinent information related to Marvin. He related that he was standing by a church near 64th and Eggleston, and he called Redacted. He related that he met Redaction at 64th and Parnell. He related that he did not drive the Dodge Caravan. He related that his cell phone number is Redaction. So now you have someone who is also considered to be a suspect actually, saying that the van belongs to a friend, which is another suspect on this case. I mean, and this one is just beginning. I mean, we're only on page 23 here, and I'm going to go ahead and pause it here for part one. Tune in to part two. I mean, this one will go for a few parts. I don't want to make the videos entirely too long, just to keep your attention, but we will pick up right here. We will pick up right back here where we left off in part two. So thank you for watching, and definitely like and subscribe. That helps me out a lot with pushing out this content. And check out Reddit too. And I appreciate everybody. Thank you.